Hi, I'm very happy that you clicked this video. I want to show you how I make slips. There are a ton of videos on this, but the ones I've watched don't cover all of the tricks and tweaks. And you can do it is taught at the art college, but in the best case it takes days, and that may be implemented now, not sometimes. Hardly any of us do this professionally, but only for fun, and I want to have it right away. I will show you can be done faster and how it works, because my characters and animals have always become something. You need a piece of clay, of the clay you want to work with right away, and a jar with a lid. Small parts of the clay are broken off or peeled off and placed in the glass. You can see it. It is important with the glass, and it's my first tip, that the edges are completely straight, so you can get anywhere with the tool. The clay can be mixed and cannot hide. Most glasses have a bulbous sharp or some other characteristics, so that the customer can recognize the product from the sharp. The straight edge is ideal because it is easy to stir and the clay cannot hide, so it's easy to achieve the same consistency everywhere. You can mix clay with water. It would just take a lot longer than pulling the clay into small pieces. What is now in the glass, it's not enough to put a fix the principle. Then I add water and stir everything with a tool. The tools are usually bought in a set, especially as a beginner. Also a video for this. It is not very good quality, but to try it out, see if you really enjoy it. It works really well. Now you need patience. Stirring is not the best thing in pottery, although there are certainly people who like this part especially, I think. Unfortunately, I took a little too much water, so I need clay again in small chunks. In general, if the clay is processed milk, the slip must be a little more humid. If the clay is dried, the slip must be far from the consistency of the clay. So the slip should be based on the strength of the clay to be processed. This then makes an optimal connection that not only dries off well, but also holds in the case of biscuit firing. I started making pottery during Corona 2020, and it has become a real passion. In the beginning I attended a course, then watched videos and read books on the internet. So how the clay has a good consistency, because I do not process the clay wet, but relatively soft. Now the lid comes on. Despite the lid, the clay dries a little. That I recommended to everyone I write what's inside the glass. Here I have the clay. I hope you can see it well. It's white clay. Here you can see the product number and also the account of fabric. You can write down the color or the product number so that you slip with absolute certainty. I will do that now with a Sharpie pen. White 11 SF. It doesn't look particularly pretty now, but I know what's inside. If you can't find straight jars, you can also use other packaging that is also easy to close. I have a mug that had glaze in it. Here you can also easily note what is inside. I always write it directly on the vessel and not on the lid, because the lids can sometimes be swapped. And once neither the lid on the glass nor on the plastic packaging close properly, it is advisable to water the slip before starting to pottery, to dismantle everything and to work on the molds and so on. Here I have from the last time, which has also dried up a little. Then you can add water, turn it once so that the water goes everywhere, put the lid back on. The water can soak into the clay, and when you need to slip, it is much softer and easier to stir. That are my tips for making slip. I'm happy if you liked the video. If you liked it, please leave comments and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much, and I wish you a perfect day. Bye.